I could hear them breaking from about Belk's to Cheddar's right there at Ashland Mall. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Two Ball Tires podcast. Jason Moses, owner of Moses AutoMall right here in Huntington. We got Adam in here. We've held him hostage for a few hours. And I was at Cheddar's in Ashland the other day meeting my daughter and her husband. And I had my window down in the Caddy you got me in. And she comes pulling in there in her vehicle, and they pull up in the parkings. And I could hear them breaking from about Belk's to Cheddar's right there at Ashland Mall. And I'm thinking, it's that typical noise, when dang good and well, not only the brake shot, I'm sure the rotors are warped. And she pulled up and was like, I said, got to go to Moses. We got to get you some new brakes. She said, Dad, I can't afford it. And I said, what are you saying? She said, do you have any connections over there? So I'm coming to see you in a couple of weeks, Adam. So, man, let's talk a little bit about brakes. Probably I would say, if not probably the most important part of a car. Is that a stretch to say?
I think so. Stopping's pretty important.
I'd say so, man. The safety part of it, it's like, man, when I remodel houses, there's some things that you can cheat on. Some drywall or, some trim. You might get some aftermarket trim. But, man, when it come to the electrical, it was going to be done right. And I would imagine the same way with, because that electrical catch a house on fire, kids in bed or whatever, lose lives that way. I would imagine same with brakes, man. You gotta make sure that they're well took care of and know when to change them, I would imagine.
Yeah, most brake systems have squealers on them to let you know, hey, it's right at the point here in the next little bit, it's going to start grinding on you. So you hear that squealer, it's time to go to the dealership and get you some brakes. Here at Moses, we offered discounted brakes and rotors for the repair, just to keep people safe, keep people coming back. And we do offer options of OEM and aftermarket, or OEM versus aftermarket, and a lot of what we've been seeing here lately, the pricing is real close together. The OEM offers 3 different lines of brakes for General Motors, and Nissan offered 2 different lines of brakes. They offer just the original ones that come on your car, and then they offer the value line through Nissan, which the price point is right around the price of aftermarket. So we try to stick with OEM brakes to put on people's car, but, you get in that situation where people just don't have the money. So we give them options to see what best fits them and go from there.
And that's great that you give them an option, too, because like you said, some people can, some people can't.
Exactly.
$150 one way or the other means a lot to some people, and it is great that you ain't just trying to run something down their throat, to get that extra. So I think that's important, man. And when they bring the vehicle in, y'all do the inspection, versus, hey, you just need pads, too late, time to move on to the rotors, the whole 9 yards. But you do a full inspection on all that, right?
Yeah, we look at the brakes and rotors. Usually, if you put one in there, take the wheel off of it, look at them, you can tell if it needs the rotors replaced or resurfaced. We resurface them here or replace them. We generally try to tell people, hey, it's best to replace them because the repair lasts longer.
Yeah.
But, you find situations, hey, I ain't going to keep this car 6 more months. So we'll just go ahead and resurface the rotors and put some new pads on it. But
if you hear them coming from the sushi place up there, you
generally
know it's time to change them out.
Probably going to need brakes and rotors on that repair for sure.
Well, again, that's probably one thing that people don't pay as much attention to when they should. Maybe they don't place that as the most importance when, truthfully, it could be the most important thing, I would imagine.
Brakes are extremely important on your car. You always want to be able to stop. And, if you have a leak or something in your brake system, your brake fluid goes low, your light will come on and let you know, hey, you've got a problem with your brakes. You need to go get it fixed at the dealer. So,
well, that's good to know.
We have We have a pretty extensive selection of brakes in stock, so it's we'd love to see you come down here and get us that from us.
But look at there, he just sold it. That's what I'm talking about. All right, if it's if your brakes are making a noise like my daughter's, or even if it's not, bring them on down here, and Adam will take care of you. So thanks a lot, man. Thanks for your help for sure.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. We may make him a regular.
Make him a regular.
We may let you sit on the couch next time.
Sounds good.